was told about the intro song. Nice choice. The organizers, nice choice. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here, and it's the first time I'm holding a presentation with like 3 screens. So we're gonna see how it works for me. And yes, today I'm gonna talk about our experiences and how we actually worked with Facebook primarily, and we still have the largest Facebook audience when it goes to destination management organizations in Norway. And but of course, it's not going to be only how we did it, but also what knowledge and what experience we got from the whole process, and what is coming next, and what we could have done better, because that is also part of the experience and a part of the reflections. Northern Norway is this. White, sandy, coral beaches, but it's also this. Tundra and indigenous people, Sami people, the nomads of the north. It's the land of the northern lights, and it's also the land of the midnight sun in summertime. And we have about 3,000 polar bears and 3 UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. Distances over 1,000 kilometers, and population density, they say it varies from 4.1 person per square kilometer to negative 4.1 person per square kilometer. So yes, sometimes you really can feel the solitude and how big is the horizon. For us in Northern Norway, we actually market the 3 northernmost counties in Norway: Nordland, Troms, and Finnmark. And also we do the marketing for the northernmost destination in the world, Svalbard. And it's quite a big region. And of course, Norway is our main market. But you can also see the Fab 5, the Fabulous 5. And hey, our Netherlands, yoo-hoo, Germany, Sweden, the neighbors, United Kingdom, and France. Before I go to the examples, just to put you into the context, how was it in 2012 when we decided to choose Facebook as the main social media we were actually working on? And of course, our main market, Norway. So we had to have a look, where are the Norwegians? And Norwegians are on Facebook, and they were on Facebook in 2012. Now, actually, Facebook is the media. People open Facebook before they open the National Broadcast Corporation website, so they spend a lot of time on Facebook. And in 2012, we were also looking for the social media that could give us an opportunity not only to share inspiration, but also to have advertisement, like paid advertisement as well, and also opportunity to have the messaging system. And at that time, Twitter didn't have the messaging system yet, so the choice was Facebook. And prior to the campaign, or like the case that I'm going to talk about, this is what our Facebook page looked like. Like some stats there. And of course, you can say we started working as a common tourist board in 2010. So for the first 2 years, it was a lot of organizational process and branding, because we kind of took 3 tourist boards and combined them together, calling it Northern Norway. So it was a lot of organizational process involved. And from 2012, we thought and we felt that we are ready to do some push into the digital, and to present Northern Norway's identity through the visuals. And also, by that time, we brought in many great pictures, new pictures, that represented the new brand at Northern Norway as a whole, not as 3 entities, including Svalbard. And as you can see, mostly were from the locals, and the 20% of the proud Northern Norwegians. I guess every country has this phenomenon, the Northerners. That's no matter where they go, they always long for the north, and they always speak about how good it is at the north. So we are very lucky to have those ambassadors who are living in the capital or in other cities and always speaking about Northern Norway. So how we did it? 1 post per day, pictures, mostly pictures, with quotes, invitations, like invitations to share your story, or invitation, share your best, have you been there? Yes, no, like, if you have seen Northern Lights, share if you haven't seen the Northern Lights, and so on. So we linked it to our webpage, and it's also important to say that by 2012, we got the webpage again, coming back to these 3 tourist boards, putting them together, creating the common www.northernnorway.com website. So at that time, the timing was right. We had the new pictures, we had the website, so we linked it to the articles, to all those new articles that were written about Northern Norway as one destination. And of course, we were surfing with the others. Big TV shows. In 2013, it was Disney's Frozen. We had a cycling race, Arctic Race of Norway. It's when you take Tour de France and Northern Norway together, spectacular and cycling. And last but not least, we used paid advertisement on Facebook. Used with moderations, and we also used it when we saw that this has the potential, this picture or that post has the potential. Because if you just push something without knowing that, or without your audience liking it, you only will get negative feedbacks or like dislikes. Budget-wise, we are like Northern Norwegians, we always put all the figures, and here is the budget. Over the period of 3 years, we are talking about 50,000 euros, and in the description, in the intro to this presentation, it was written that a small budget. But of course, I know that for some destination companies, maybe it's like huge budget. That's the whole budget. That's the country budget. But we say small compared to what we were using on print, and to what other tourist boards are actually using on print, on TV, on radio advertisement, and also small compared to what other brands are using on Facebook, all in all. Actually, tourism has this challenge. We have to compete with brands with budgets like Coca-Cola or Apple has. So that's why we called it a small budget. And when it goes to targeting, how we were targeting our audience, of course, a lot has been said about going away from the demographics, but you have to have the base, and we added lifestyle triggers, or like lifestyle criteria as well. Scandinavia, photo, nature safari, Norway, people who actually identify themselves on Facebook in their profile that they like Norway or Scandinavian countries, Norwegian design. And here are the results after the 8 months, the first 8 months. And yeah, I'm not going to read them. You can see them there. And we moved to 70% foreigners. And yeah, in the period when we were advertising and combining advertising with posting without ads, in summer 2012, more people were talking about our posts than the Olympics in London. And here are just some of the examples of the posts. I didn't try to hide. You can see this scale, the orange scale, that is actually paid and organic. But again, the picture you see in the middle, that's the bestseller picture ever. That's the best post we had ever. And you see the stats, like 20,000 likes. And when we posted that picture, by that time already we knew what was triggering the interest among our fans. So that picture was actually chosen with a great dose of reflections. And situation now. Of course, when you go from 2013, like 100,000 likes, and now 2015, it's 134. It was actually 137, but probably many of you noticed Facebook kind of cut it off. A lot of fans, like we lost 2,500 fans because they were not active, and it's good. I think it's really great that Facebook does it, that they just deactivated all those who were there only on paper. Yes, we do not do any advertisement now on our posts. And here you have the average figures. And of course, as I said, we have the biggest Facebook audience among the destination management organization in Norway. But and it is also partially because we started quite early with the process with also paid advertisement. Knowledge, the most important thing, probably. This is what we learned. When we started, and we had a lot of pictures from before that were taking, and also those pictures that we bought in, that were taking primarily for print advertisement. And it's a very tricky thing. You can think that we just take those pictures and put them on Facebook. Because of the social media, people now, the old school marketers were saying, you have to have people in activity, doing something on your posts. But people want themselves, like if they want a picture of somebody, it's going to be a selfie. The pictures that they wanted from us as a destination company, they wanted panorama vision. They wanted big panorama pictures. And here you have some examples of the pictures that we didn't do any advertisement on, and we also shared from the others, and it got great response. The next thing is what I call Tarantino phenomenon, and here is a quote from Quentin Tarantino when he was interviewed after the Pulp Fiction about the soundtrack and how he actually picks songs for his movies. And the thing is that every song in Tarantino movie plays a really great role, because after you cannot hear that song without remembering that particular scene from that particular movie. And without necessarily thinking about it, but we put the soundtrack to our posts. We were putting those song quotes to the posts, and we kind of triggered both the visual and the audio senses. And like these people, and we don't know whether people shared it further because they liked the quote of the song, but anyway, that got a great response, and we were, after a while, we started using also quotes from films, and you see the response that, is this beach big enough? This beach ain't big enough for the both of us, and also mirror, mirror on the wall. Some other quotes that were triggering like cultural references. The next thing that I call it, every destination has its panda or koala or quokka, because some pictures are just there being your best sellers, and no matter how small or big destination, some pictures are just there, and everybody expects you to share those pictures. Like for us, it's the Northern Lights. But here again, after a while, we also learned that it's very tempting to take this shortcut and just post a picture of the Northern Lights. Dang. 20,000 people reached, 5,000 likes, or we got more than 1,000 likes at each Northern Lights pictures. And our fans, they were also saying, oh, we cannot get enough of the Northern Lights. But in order not to overkill it, now we think that we have to use it with moderations as well. It's all about, after a while, to learn about moderating and moderations. And surfing in the Arctic. When I was preparing this presentation, I actually was studying the presentation from Sea Australia, and Sea Australia was also referring to the same things. There are some waves out there waiting for you to be surfed. Like Brabant, you're also surfing those waves. This picture is actually taken in Northern Norway, yes, and you can surf in Northern Norway. We have the beach with 5 kind of breaks. In the surfer world, it's like crazy. And of course, the wave, what does the fox say? And when I say it, I guess everybody hears this. And the picture was there, and it was a perfect timing, and it got a lot of attention, and we used it again as a quote, again coming to this soundtrack phenomenon, the Tarantino phenomenon. Another wave, Rihanna with Diamonds, video produced by Norwegians, and it also used images of the Northern Lights, not taken in Northern Norway. I think it was maybe designed by some computer technique, but it actually got a lot of attention. But again, here you can see this quote from one of the fans who was expecting us not to put Rihanna out there, but something like black metal. This is what Norway is famous for. So again, with moderations. The wave, the end of the world. What is interesting here, this picture, actually, we didn't put any advertisement on that one, and it got over 2,000 shares, while the Fox picture, it was 1,000 shares. So that wave was actually more shareable in a way. People felt with that. And of course, it is social, so you can always ask your audience. And we asked our audience after those 8 months. We posted that the question saying like, okay, what do you want? Do you want more? Because sometimes pages like Likealizer, they tell you, okay, you post too much pictures. You have to post more questions or something else or links. And we asked them, yeah, and this is what the audience answered. They want photos from Northern Norway. 2013 especially was the good year, and when in Northern Norway, when we say the good year, that means a lot of fish. That's why there are the fishing wrecks. The fish is hanging there. We got a lot. Northern Norway as a destination has got a lot of attention, so it would be very dishonest to say that, oh, it was all Facebook and the combination of pictures and advertisement. Of course, lots of media attention. Tour operators finally said that, okay, it's easier to sell Northern Norway than those 3 destinations that we had before, and that helped a lot. That triggered, again, it was a trigger for the interest, for the brand. Challenges. From the very beginning, again, we used this paid advertisement, and of course, people were asking this question, is it bought? Do you love me or my money? Are those fans for real, or they just came to you because you kind of bought them via Facebook? The response rate, the fact that so many stayed with us over a long period of time, and we see actually some of them are like real supporters, never visited Northern Norway, but they are out there. We think that it's earned, it's not bought. So much information, so little time. Sometimes you feel for your destination like, oh, this is a very interesting fact, this is a very interesting story I want to share, this is a big part of our culture, I want to share it with the world. And you put a picture and you put the text with that story. But of course, we precede pictures much quicker, and sometimes people don't read the text. What they see, like here, it's quite an innocent picture with the fish, but sometimes you see this record halibut with, I don't know, 300 kilos. Yeah, you can catch a fish like that in Northern Norway. And those guys, very proud. But then you got all those comments, oh, poor creature. So people don't want to see animals being killed in Northern Norway. Or maybe it's general for other destinations, but we experience that when we post a picture of saying like, yoo-hoo, autumn, hunting season, it's an essential part of Northern Norway. This is what people do in Northern Norway. They go hunting in autumn. It was no dead animal in the picture, just a rifle and a beautiful autumn scenery. 125 likes in a minute, like, tack, disappeared. They didn't like it, so we lost them. And of course, the tricky picture with the whales. Yes, we hunt whales. Norwegians hunt whales. And every time when we post a picture of the whale safari, when you go to see those beautiful creatures, and those are not the whales that we hunt, it's always like, okay, you ask for it. You ask for it. And so Again, some stories are not there to be told or maybe shared, no matter how essential they are for your identity or for your culture. Over-photoshopped or overwhelming. Again, coming back to this world coming to an end picture, when we posted it in 2012 in December, we got some comments from the photographers, they even sent us emails like saying, what are you doing? That looks like really photoshopped. We bought the picture like that and it was actually taken with film first and then digitalized. So we had to deal with that, saying, yes, sometimes photographers think that 50%, when you just take the picture with your camera, it's 50% of the work. The next 50% is actually how you work with it in Photoshop. But that problem, people commenting on over-photoshopped, it actually disappeared. We noticed it disappeared in a way, and this is probably partially because of all the filters that people now have in Instagram. They say, oh, that worked wonders for me. So they do not react in the same way as they did before. Now it's all like, whoa, I want to take a picture like that too. And it's also because people now have access to all the great cameras and they see what cameras can do. Are you being honest with me? I guess every destination that doesn't have 360 days of sunshine and beach and palm trees, about 90% of you sitting here, you face this question. How honest can we be? How much bad weather can we show? And for us, we cannot just show only sunny pictures from Northern Norway. The climate is really nice. In some places, it's so dry that it's the driest place in Europe. This is why we have so good chances to see the Northern Lights. A little bit commercial break. But what we did, again, truth with moderations. We put pictures showing that nature can be very powerful in Northern Norway, and it's also part of our destination. And we got fantastic response. People were like, woohoo, I want to experience that too. And here are some more examples. That's the snow blizzard in the Arctic. 700 likes, and okay, only 12 comments, but only positive comments. It was a better response for the rainy picture, but I guess that's also because of the color combination. The only child problem, this is actually something that that we have, because when you have success with something, you really, like on one platform, like for us it was Facebook, you kind of, you put everything else aside in a way. And we see now that other destinations in Norway, they have quite, some of them have fantastic audience on other social medias, also in addition to a great audience on Facebook. While for us, I cannot say that we became speed blind in a way, but we were thinking, let's just concentrate on Facebook without exploring the other opportunities that we only started to explore now. Okay, it's moved a little bit. Other challenges, the law of diminishing returns. After a while, no matter how money you put into the ads, it doesn't actually bring any results, and it only annoys people. So you have to listen carefully and to monitor it carefully, and just stop when you reach kind of a point of the point that you cannot reach more people, those who are gonna like you. Déjà vu, déjà shared. That's also a tricky thing, because at the beginning, lots of photographers were sharing their pictures with us, and we were sharing them further, boosting their brand as a photographer. But now we see that there are less photographers sharing with us, and also some of the photographers, they don't want us to share it further, they want it to be theirs. Also, sometimes people who are interested in Scandinavia, or in Northern Norway, maybe they already follow those photographers. So for us to resharing it, and if it comes in the timeline, it's going to be like, okay, that's the post I've seen already from the photographer. Oh, again, now it's from Northern Norway. Now it's from the destination in Northern Norway. So that is also a challenge that we face now. What if it all disappears? I guess everybody sitting here asks him or herself this question: what if? And also, are we ready to to cope with the Chinese tourists, how we do it because they don't have the same access to Facebook, and big politics dealing with people who are not happy with Norway all in all. Sometimes they also comment on the pictures and comment and send us messages because they're just not happy with Norway as a country. What we do now, a lot has been said about co-curating and co-sharing and find the ambassadors. So this is what we are actually working on now: proactive search for ambassadors on several social medias. We are at the very beginning, like 3,000 followers on Twitter and 1,400 on Instagram. So compared to our Facebook audience, it's a drop. And what we discovered recently, some of the recent discoveries, it's that the power of links. Links actually before, I showed an example before when we were only starting, when we shared links from like the Daily Telegraph or the Guardian. We didn't actually have a great response, but now something changed, or maybe it's because they changed the way how they write the articles. We see that when we share, it's something with a cover picture, it's something with a text that those media who are good in writing the capturing text. We actually got great response when we share the links that are dealing with Northern Norway or with Norway. Like the post here, 180,000 people reach and so many. So many shares. We didn't do anything to promote it further, so we reached quite a number of people. And again, no matter how tempting it is to put Northern Lights all the way through the winter time, sometimes people are just tired of winter and they want something else. So summer, we felt like you needed some summer in your winter timeline. And what we also noticed, and maybe many of you who are working on daily basis with social medias or maybe with Facebook, people do not write many comments anymore. They just put them an emoji or a like. Maybe it's us coming back to the Stone Age when we don't want to write, we just point on the picture for food and like. I don't know. So takeaways, yes, find your panda, be aware of shortcuts, and learn from the audience, truth with moderations, and the power of a good soundtrack or a good quote. And once again, overlapping success, something that we were not so good at probably, to spread the success from Facebook further on to other social media when it was very, very hot. And everybody here was telling about co-curating, so master co-curating. Yes, thank you very much.